First round coverage of the Zozo Championship gets underway tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern from LaGuardia Golf Narashino Country Club. For more on the action, we send it out to Rex Hoggard and Ryan Lavner.
The PGA Tour transitions to Japan this week for the Zozo Championship. Now, I sent you an email that had 3 players' names on it. They're all making their PGA Tour season debuts this week. It was Xander Schauffele, it was Viktor Hovland, it was Collin Morikawa. Now, the question I asked you is, which one of those players are you most interested in? I think I know where you're going to go, so I'm going to leave the floor to you.
Yes, it's the player who I think is going to have the best season. And everyone knows I am the golfchannel.com resident stan for Schauffele. I pick him to win a major seemingly every year since like 2018. All he did last year, was 3 top 15 finishes in the game's biggest events. But this is the reason why I think he's going to have the best season this year. I think he's one of the two or three most complete players on the PGA Tour, 39th or better in every major statistical category, which is just insane. You look at the guys who are kind of in that same ballpark. It's Patrick Cantlay, it's Rory McIlroy, just completeness across the board. And those 2 players have been among the tour leaders in wins over the past couple of years. So, Rex, I think the top is about to come off for this guy, and he is going to win in bunches. He's my player of the year. So, obviously, I think he's going to have the best season.
You're going to get so mad at me. I'm going to do the thing that you always hate that I end up doing, because I sent you the email and said, okay, here's the topics, pick one of the players. And as soon as I did, I realized like he's going to pick Xander. Like he always picks Xander. He always leans into it for all the right reasons. I can't debate any of those reasons, but I'm going to actually go the other way. I'm going to go with Collin Morikawa, but I'm going to say he's going to be outside the top 20 in the world. But when we're doing
this is your stupid question.
I know. As soon as I was sending it, it sort of dawned on me that I don't want to do any of these things. Like none of these things interest me at all. What interests me is looking at Collin Morikawa, and I said it before he started winning majors with an S, multiple major championships. I said it after he started winning majors with an S, multiple major championships. He doesn't have a complete game. His iron play, his long iron play, he
doesn't need one.
Game. His putting is awful. There's no other way to put it. He was 131st last year on the PGA Tour in strokes gained putting. That's an improvement. That was better over the year before, which was 197th. I think he was on the PGA Tour. We could say, okay, he's moving in the right direction. He's not moving quick enough. And I would argue that as consistent as he was earlier in the season, he only had 2 top 10s from May on forward. Now, it was 2 big top 10s in major championships, but still, he is not the type of consistent player that I would look at and say to myself, Xander Schauffele, he's going to be in the top 5 at the end of next year. He might be number 1 in the world. You never know, depending on what kind of hot streak he gets in. I just don't see it with Morikawa right now.
Did you just gloss over the fact that Collin Morikawa had a pair of top 5 finishes in major championships, and that was still disappointing to you? That proves the fact, Rex, that this guy statistically is not a good putter. He was not a good putter in college, and yet he was one of the best players that we've seen over the past decade. He was not a good putter in 2020 when he won the PGA. He was not a good putter in 2021 when he won the Open Championship. He was not a good putter this year when he still had top 5 finishes in 2 major championships. What he has proven to be, Rex, is situationally great when it comes to the major championships. There is no strokes gained clutchness, but Collin Morikawa seems to have that. If there's anything that we saw in this quote-unquote down year for Collin Morikawa, and I think he'd be the first one to admit that it was a disappointing season by his measure. He went from nearly ascending to number 1 in the world to now almost outside the top 10. He took just a tiny step back with his ball striking. He is still one of the game's preeminent iron players. He's still top 5 on the PGA Tour in strokes gained approach, and yet he really battled kind of a two-way miss. That consistent fade was not there. You give him a little bit of time in this fall, Rex. I know he's playing a couple events in this fall slate, but by the time 2023 comes around, I have full confidence that he and Rick Sessenhaus are going to have that ball striking shored up. I do admit short game and putting are a major concern, but it's not like Viktor Hovland-esque short game concerns when it comes to Collin Morikawa. He has a track record that I think he deserves some benefit of the doubt.
And that was going to be the other half of this. Viktor Hovland, again, a very, very good player. He's not a complete player, at least at this point in his career. You brought up his short game. It's just not there to maintain that level that we expect from these great players. And that's not to take anything away from if you're 10th in the world as opposed to 3rd in the world, you're still a really, really good golfer. It's just that when you get to that level, you have to maximize what you do well and minimize what you don't do well. And right now, I don't see either one of those players doing that.
Yeah, look, the consistency wasn't there for either of these players, either Collin Morikawa or Viktor Hovland. We've been waiting for Viktor, right, to get into the hunt in the major championships. He finally did it at the St. Andrews Open, tied with the 54-hole lead with Rory McIlroy. And then he threw up a 74 on the final day to skid down the leaderboard. That was disappointing. Viktor Hovland is going to have a good year because Viktor Hovland is always going to have a good year. I'm sure he's going to be a stalwart for that European Ryder Cup team. I just don't think he's going to have the best year. And that was the question that you asked that I actually answered.
You see, that's what we do on the Golf Central podcast presented by Callaway Golf. We zig when others zag. For more just like that, check it out.
Want to hear more of Rex and Lav? Yeah, you can listen to the full Golf Central podcast episode each week, available on all major podcast platforms.